super stylish. People are starting to point it out on the street and say, "Hey, you go to that card shop?" I say, "Absolutely, I do." So yeah, if you ever check us out, we're at 1119 on 4th Avenue. 4th Avenue is one of the busiest places in Huntington. It and 5th Avenue, I would maybe 3rd also, are the 3 busiest places in Huntington. So 4th Avenue, we have an awesome pizza place, followed by an amazing retro video game store. They're holding their own conventions and everything. They just had Power Up Con last week. It's fantastic. It got like 1,000 people or more or something. It was awesome. So we have pizza, retro video games, us, the card shop, and then the comic book store, Purple Earth Comics. So right in a row, we got pizza, video games, magic cards, comics. Can you think of anything better? We just get to hang out with a bunch of buddies who like the same stuff all day, every day. It's amazing. So yeah, if you are ever in the area, try to come check us out. And it looks like we already have another match on camera. They're cleaning up right now. But yeah, we should have people already back up. Looks like both of these players are on a mulligan to 6. And I don't know who is where. Ethan, I would say, is at the top of your screen. Pretty sure he plays with red sleeves. And I believe we're going to the modern format now. And I'm going to write Grixis Twin, which it might not actually be that. So I'm going to erase that. I just know it's Splinter Twin. I'm just going to write Twin. And his opponent is Fairmont/Morgantown. I can't remember. He's from that area, the north part of West Virginia. Noah Porter. Noah's a regular Four Horsemen Comics and Games. They're in West Virginia. They're a northern store. One of our friendly rivals, as we actually respect each other quite a bit. We host or help push each other's tournaments and get players to go to each other's shops. And Noah is on the deck that I really don't want to watch. Soul Sisters. This deck doesn't play very many fun magic cards for me. I'm the kind of guy that likes counter spells and land ramp and draw cards and all that, and Soul Sisters has none of that. It just plays creatures that gain a lot of life, which is fine. Just not what interests me in the game, but that's not what is important. Yeah, both of these players are on a mold of 6, and Noah hasn't looked at his, which means I believe that he won the first game. Ethan agreed to keep, and Noah's checking his hand. There's a Plains, so it's probably a keeper. He had a Plane and a Soul Sister. Plains and a Soul Sister. It looks like a Soul's Attendant, and he kept it. We're going to see a Delta come down into a pass. Possibly a Spellsky draw for Noah. Mistveil Plains comes down. So that's going to put Ethan to 19. Which I realize I have not updated the life totals yet. Yeah, so, if you're ever in the area, check us out. We generally have tournaments, multiple tournaments every week. We have Versus System, we have Hearthstone, Force of Will, Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, we have Magic. That's our biggest game. Noah, I'm so sorry. These are both Ethan's decks. Noah cast a Soul's Attendant, to which Ethan responds with, fetch out a tap my Steam Vents for a lightning bolt to kill your Soul's Attendant. And this is definitely not game one with the way that Noah waited on Ethan to select. So I know that this is at least game two. It could possibly be game three. And it looks like Ethan doesn't have a bad hand. I mean, Noah's going to play the Spellskite this turn, I believe. He sort of has to, I believe. I mean, if he has a... He must have some interaction in his hand that I'm not seeing. But he 100% has to try to stop the twin combo, because I think Ethan just has to go for it before he gets a Soul Sister in play. Especially if he has the Deceiver Exarch half and not this Pestermite half. As Pestermite can get through it, because as long as they only have one of the Souls cards, like Soul Warden or Soul's Attendant, because they only gain one per creature that comes in, but Pestermite has two power, so it'll always be double whatever you gain. However, with Deceiver Exarch, with one power, you just deal as much damage as they gain, so you're not really doing anything. We're just going to see an island come down, which represents Cryptic Command mana. He has... This is definitely Grixis twin. He has... Or, no, that might be... I cannot tell if that is a breeding pool or a watery grave. I believe it's a breeding pool because Ethan has Tarmogoyfs, and I believe he'll be playing with them. So, assuming that's a breeding pool, this is Temur Twin. Martyr of Sands comes down for Noah. For those of you who do not know, Martyr of Sands is sacrifice it. It's a 1/1 for 1 white, and you can pay a colorless to sacrifice it, reveal X white cards from your hand, and gain 4 life per white card revealed. So it's a pretty strong card against like the burn decks especially. I would say that Soul Sisters has close to a 100% win rate against burn. That's just me guessing, and I don't actually know the stats, but I would feel that it has a really good win percentage against that. So a Remand comes down for the Spellskite, returning it to Noah's hand. And Noah's going to recast it. To which it resolves. And that looks like an Anger of the Gods or a Splinter Twin. It was one of the two. Polluted Delta comes down for Ethan. It's definitely a breeding pool in play. And that might be a pass from Ethan. This is going to be a very long game. It's going to be a lot of 1 damage interactions. But yeah, once again, we have all kinds of tournaments here all the time. If you play in our Hearthstone tournaments, at the moment, we're offering a free pack to anyone who plays in them. It's $5 to play. We play for store credit. But you get a pack of Hearthstone. It's just classic, but you still get a pack just to play. Ethan's going to Fetch Shock, seemingly lightning bolting himself. Anger of the Gods comes down to clear out the way. Spectral Procession comes down for Noah, and he's going to leave Wimbrisk Kites up. Ethan has a Dispel and a Splinter Twin in hand for certain. He might have a Deceiver Exarch as well, in which case he's just sort of playing around with Ethan, or with Noah. Like I said, these are both Ethan's decks, and Ethan's at the table, and I'm used to seeing Ethan play the bottom deck, so it is a little weird for me to see him on the opposite end of it. Team Attack coming through for 3, knocking Ethan down to 10. And that Wimbrisk Kites is now active, so one has to wonder what's under it, and he can cast it until end of turn. There's a chance that he just won't. Squadron Hawk comes down, to which Ethan is responding with a Remand. And if I saw that right, Noah just passed turn, or he might have just went like, oh well. Somebody just pointed something out in his hand. So we'll see what happened. If you don't like us on Facebook, you should check us out. It's facebook.com/hometownhobbies. Or more than likely, you could probably just search in Facebook Hometown Hobbies. We should be the only one. And if you haven't yet, you should also follow us here on Twitch. I'm sure we'll do a giveaway at some point tonight, as we generally do. And we're going to see Pestermite tap down Wimbrous Kites. The attack is going to happen. No blocks, definitely. Noah has a path, maybe a couple paths. That might be an Unburial Rites in his hand. That would be a little too bizarre for me. He just goes for it. Dismember, okay. Dismember comes down. Ethan says, "Ha, I'm going to get you good. You pay that for life. Dispel." And then Noah says, "Sad face, I got the path." So that should be, I would imagine, close to game for Noah in Noah's favor. And Ethan's going to search out his basic, but he just lost 2 combo pieces, and I believe he only has 2 cards in hand. Noah has a full grip with 3 tokens and a Wimbrous Kites. So this is going to be an uphill battle for Ethan. Not saying he's completely out of it, it's just going to be difficult at this stage. Also, we have our next Star City Games Invitational Qualifier Preliminary Pro Tour Qualifier Tournament. It's going to be on October 24th at 12 p.m. So if you're in the area on that Saturday and you want to play some, I believe, Standard, that I need to make sure, but I am 99.99% sure it's Standard, come visit us here at Hometown Hobbies, and we'll be glad to accommodate you in any way that we can. As the attack for 6 is going to knock Ethan down to 4. And he's going to be looking at possibly his last card. He does have a Cryptic in his hand, so he's not out of it. He gets to tap down the team, draw a card, look for an Anger of the Gods or something. So it's not that he's out of it, it's a long uphill battle now. Snapcaster comes down. Flashing back Anger of the Gods, I believe. I don't believe that one was in Ethan's hand, so I think that was the draw for turn. You can see Saracen in Noah's hand. She's not very close to being active, and playing her would court death. Ethan has a twin in his hand, so Squadron Hawk resolves. He should be grabbing all 3. He might only grab 2. I like grabbing all 3, unless for some reason that there's a reason you can't, which I don't know of one. And he's going to play a Saracen then and probably pass turn. And that leaves him with 7. Yeah, good. So Ethan's going to draw and hope to get a Deceiver Exarch or a Splinter Twin, or sorry, Pestermite, one of the 2 creatures that he needs. Oh, he already has it. So this is interesting. We'll see what Noah has. He might have another piece of removal in his hand. That's not a very good card for him at this point. Burrington Forge Tinder. We're going to see a Burrington Forge Tinder come down, however, and he's going to attack with both. His Sarah Ascendant and his Squadron Hawk for 2 points of damage, knocking Ethan down to 2. Assuming this resolves, the attack step, Ethan could Cryptic Command to tap, or he could just flash in Pestermite to tap down the Saracen, and just so he doesn't get the lifelink trigger.